Hello everyone, this is Gary and today we're doing another life skills video. Now the way in which these videos work is this. There are three sections. This first section gives you a broad outline of the subject and the topics that we'll be covering as part of that subject. The middle section then deals with the meat of the subject, the detail, and I found it best to do that through a series of slides. And then the final section is just a quick summary of what we have covered. Now, in case you miss anything, all the detail that you hear and that you see in this video is also set out in the description box below. And in addition, there are some links to other relevant videos. So, having done the quick introduction, let's just get into it. Okay, so let's get into it. Now, if you are doing a philosophy course, you may find that one of the topics to cover is the subject of aesthetics. And this is what this video is all about, just to give you a very brief overview of what that is about. Essentially, aesthetics is about one question: what is tasteful? So the first part of what is tasteful is the nature of that. What is the nature of tasteful? Now we find clues as to what that is all about in four different sources. We find what is tasteful described through literature. We find also that what is tasteful is often found in discussions around art, and what happens in the theatre, and finally in other forms of media, and specifically I'm thinking of digital media, which is quite prevalent in our society and as a result has quite a lot of influence in what is the nature of tasteful. So media as well. Four principal sources. Now the next bit of aesthetics is all about the nature of enjoyment, because what is tasteful is related to what is enjoyment. And there are two elements to that. The first one is physical reactions in terms of when you enjoy something. And the second is sensory perceptions. And those are the two key things that you will investigate when you're studying the nature of enjoyment. Now, the next part of the analysis around aesthetics and what is tasteful is the idea of the nature of beauty. What is the nature of beauty? Now I would suggest there are two elements to that as well. It is how people experience beauty, we analyse that, and how people engage with each other and with the thing that they find beautiful. And your analysis of that will help you to better understand the nature of beauty. And if you are studying this topic, these are the subjects that you will need to cover. Next is the whole idea of the philosophy of art itself. Now, there are four elements to this. The first is absolute or relative values. Do things which are tasteful have a relative value, or do they have an absolute value? Is beauty an absolute thing, or is it relative? Relative from one person to another, or from one thing in relation to something else, i.e. how you measure it when compared to something else, or is it a value in its own right, an absolute value? The second element of the philosophy of art is around aesthetic judgments. How do we make them? What are the principles we use, and how do we apply them? Next, in the context of the philosophy of art, you've got to look at cultural influences, and those vary from society to society and from time to time, over periods of time as societies change. And then of course the last but important element around the philosophy of art and the nature of aesthetics is ethics and values, because it's all about what you should, what you can, and what you put on in terms of value, in terms of absolute or relative values, in terms of beauty and what is tasteful. And in a nutshell, that is what philosophy of art is all about and aesthetics is all about. So we come then to a very quick summary of aesthetics. And essentially we're looking at four elements at best. We're looking at the nature of what is tasteful, the nature of enjoyment, and the nature of beauty. And in analysing those, we finally rest with the philosophy of art overall, which helps you to better encompass ethics and values, looks at cultural influences, aesthetic judgments, and deals with the very tricky issue of absolute or relative values. Now, if you can nail all of that, well, you've certainly got to grips with aesthetics.
Okay, so I hope you found that life skills video useful and interesting. And as I've said before, all the detail which I've covered in this video is also set out to assist you in the description box below, and you will also see a number of links to other relevant life skills videos. Now all that's really left for me to say after that is that if you like this video, please mark it as a like, and if you wish to see more videos like this, then please subscribe. Finally then, let me just say thank you very much for watching this video, and bye for now.